Welcome to Remembering the Way Back Home. After my first video, a few people asked me what the book I mentioned was, and so I thought I'd make this video around the things that I gained from that book and why it feels like it was so important in this journey I've been on. The book was called Your Erroneous Zones by Wayne Dyer. And Dad gave it to me when I think I was around 18, which means I was in the middle of my first year away from home at university in Sydney. And that was a pretty tough year for me. I really struggled to make any sort of connections down in Sydney. And a lot of that year I felt pretty lonely and quite lost at times. So I'm not sure if that's the motivation or there may have been something else. Who knows? It doesn't really matter, because what I've recognized since, and what feels incredibly true right now, is that that was an amazing gift that he gave me. So the first big thing I got out of that book was that the perceptions I have and the stories and thoughts I have about life filter every experience that I'm having. I have this image, and I think this was in the book, of a cage, and I'm surrounded by my perceptions and stories, and every experience I have is filtered through those perceptions and stories. And then that creates the sensations and the emotions and the thoughts I might have about whatever's happening. And that just felt incredibly true. I could just see the sense of that. I could see how a group of people could share an experience, but the sensations and emotions and thoughts they had about that experience would be different for all of them, because we all carry different perceptions and stories about how life works. So recognizing that was almost like the bars of the cage got removed, because I suddenly got interested in, well, why do I have the stories and perceptions I have, and are they true, and how do I know if they're true, and if those stories and perceptions change, then how does life change? All of this came up, and I just started getting really curious about the whole idea of this filter that I was using when I experienced life. So that was the first thing I got out of the book. The second thing was that nobody can make me feel any particular emotion. They can't make me feel happy, they can't make me feel sad, they can't make me feel angry, can't make me feel joy, can't make me feel love. They, through their words and actions, are just doing what they're doing, and it's the stories and perceptions I have about how things work and myself and them that brings up the emotion within me. So, and these aren't words I thought of then, but in a sense, I create those emotions. I create those thoughts. They're not created by that other person. Another way of putting it might be to say I'm responsible for what I feel and for what I think, not anybody else. And again, that was just, oh my God, that makes so much sense. And it just felt incredibly true. So those two things in that book, and I'm sure there were probably other things in it which I've forgotten since, but they were the big things that really made a difference at that time and really opened a door into a whole new journey through life and I've continued to open more and more doors since, but that was the first one. That was the big one. There's something that's come up in making this video and thinking about what happened back then, about that book, and that I really feel that just an amazing amount of gratitude to Dad for giving me that book, for that gift. I just feel so much love, and I feel him so close in this moment of sharing this story. And I don't know if I ever told him the impact it had on my life, but I'm telling him now. That's another gift that's showing up in this moment. Thank you for listening, and please subscribe to this channel. And if you like this video, hit the like button, and by all means put something in the comments and I will definitely respond. Thanks again, and see you next time. Bye.